Okay, so here are the three big stories that you need to be aware of today. First, Ukraine puts the head of the Russian church on its wanted list. I think this is a terrible move, not because Kirill's not a bad guy. He was, involved with the KGB years ago, and he's probably still singing from that songbook. But here's Ukraine's Interior Ministry placed the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, backer of the Kremlin's 21-month war in Kiev, on a wanted list. The problem is nothing's going to happen to him. He's happily ensconced in Russia. The problem is that it will be used against Ukraine to say, see, they're clamping down on religious freedom and they're Nazis and they're intolerant and it'll be used. It'll be more propaganda value for the Russian side than it's useful in any meaningful way. Story number two. The Germans are rearming and thinking through. They're actually, like, since World War II, have never been in a position where they're saying things like this: we Europeans must engage more to ensure our security on our own continent, said Pistorius. Europe must race to ensure that it can better defend itself as its new military threats could emerge by the end of the decade, even as the focus on the security ally of the United States shifts toward the Indo-Pacific, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said. And it's weird to think Germany rearming, but they are to meet that threat. Of course, the Russians are going to use that to say, see, the Nazis are reemerging. But I think the story here is that they're redeeming themselves. Let's look to the United States. The Senate, you know that the House adjourned. The Senate is still working. I was looking up articles about this, and there's not a lot. It's overshadowed by a whole different scandal that I'm not going to get into. But there was one article I thought was really interesting. Latino Democrats shift from quiet concern to open opposition to Biden's concessions in border talks. So now the pressure for the Democrats in the Senate are coming from their own anti-border deal kind of senators. This does not make them bad, but they're going to be pushing back against aid for Ukraine because they have these concerns over the border. Again, this is the process working itself out. It's not that they're bad for this. I'm not arguing that, but that's where the rub is going to be for the foreseeable future, and until they can work this out, some kind of deal. Okay, next thing. This is the final thing that I want to make you aware of. Warthog Defense was removed a few days ago from YouTube. They were removed for impersonation of I don't know what, because they had 300,000 subscribers before the war, and now they're up to 630, and they were removed, I believe, by trolls. Please watch this last video that I did and share it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for sharing this particular video. Thank you for your subscriptions, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.